and tonight we are going to play the demake of Quest 64. Yes, that is correct. They demade Quest 64 for the Game Boy Color.
Or I like to call it the best Quest game out there.
That's debatable.
It's
It's debatable. Alright, so timer will start in, well, that's right, I have the timer. 3, 2, and 1. Alright, so first things first, cutscenes. So one of the things they changed in this game is they added a bunch of cutscenes. And there's the scrolling text, and to go fast, because we all want to go fast, you just hold A. Lovely little thing for that. That takes pretty long time if you don't. It's super slow. So here's our hero, Brian. He's finding random monsters in the monastery. Hey look, there's a monster. And because we are a young spirit tamer, just beat him up. Because that's what we do. But here we find LeVar and I think Gabriel. That's right, the other guy's name is Gabriel. And they basically admonish us for being out and about and tell us to go back to our room, and Brian's like, alright, you guys are the older folks. Sure thing. Remake of an unfinished game, you're not wrong. So, there's two lines I want to point out here. Here's Dad. He tells us our magic has improved lately. Do you know why? One reason, of course, is that you are my son. And I can only imagine him saying that while chuckling. But the spirit lends its power to a heart that is pure. In other words, your magic has heart. I know it's difficult to understand. So, the lines in this game are all kinds of cheesy. It's great. I love that one in particular, personally.
Yeah, I've never seen the whole heart thing. When I first played this, I laughed because my mind went to Captain Planet right away.
Yeah, pretty much. It's great. Thank you for luck, Mr. Shasta. We find out that LeVar and Gabriel stole a book. The most precious book. The L-Tale book. And we just get some lore and stuff and, you know, whatever. Alright, and they tell us to go talk to our dad. And, you know, we're gonna go say hi to Dad. But we're not gonna talk to him because who cares? That doesn't tell us anything important. All he does is have a spirit next to him that we want to grab. Music is too loud. I can turn that down. Just 1 second. Here we go. Alright, how about that? So, we pick up that spirit and we put it into Wind. And for those of you who have seen Quest 64, you're thinking, Wind? Wind's hot garbage. You're not wrong. It's great in this game, though. Wind is ridiculously powerful. So, in 64, Earth is the spell to use Avalanche and Magic Barrier. But in this version, Magic Barrier is terrible. It almost never lands, and it only lasts 1 or 2 turns. It's pretty bad. The other thing is that Avalanche is still really strong, which is, you know, whatever. But the big thing with Wind is that, especially for Mammon, we'll see when we get there, is we can't actually hit him with Avalanche, so we need something else to do that, and that's where Wind comes in. But, so we just fought Tim. There are some who call him Tim? Tim doesn't feel so good, so he got snapped. Spoiler alert, sorry.
Just faded away into his existence. Oh my goodness, English.
Alright, so now we run back up because we know something bad is happening, and we're going to go talk to the Grand Abbot. And we're back into another cutscene, so don't need to do anything real quick. So, with the way the elements work in this game, so Earth is still really strong, but they just buff the crap out of Wind. Fire is still meh, water still has healing, but they like changed nothing but Wind. They touched Wind, and Wind made super duper strong. So Wind is great. We're gonna talk to the Grand Abbot, and he's gonna tell us you need to go on a quest. Yes, you, a 10-year-old boy.
And then we roll the credits because quest.
Yeah, pretty much. You will go on a quest. Ready yourself for quest. That's a line I should have stopped on. Sorry. But yes, he says that. Ready yourself for quest. Alright, and we get control back. And we're gonna pick up some items that we need. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. And then yeah, from here on out, we basically have full reign of good old Brian here, and picking up chests and just going on our misadventures here.
Yes. So that item you just saw me pick up is a Spirit Gemstone. We'll come back to that later. I will need 7 of them to play the lottery. we'll talk about that when we get to Limeland. We're picking up dewdrops and breads. Dewdrops are our basic heal, our MP healing item. Gives us 50 MP, unlike the 64 version where it gives you 10. A little bit better. Doesn't every 10-year-old boy go on a quest? Why, yes, they do. Who's on commentary? Pasma. If you want to say hi again. Alright. So my namesake gives us some bread.
If Pat would move.
Yeah. Pat can be a bro, or Pat can play some defense. He played defense today.
Ah, that jerk.
Yeah, what a rude dude. Alright. Alright, so a lot of the movement is just, not walking into walls. Trying to take corners as tight as possible. Not making extra walking like I did there. Any case, we're going to pick up wings. We need a couple of these wings. We need to visit this place once. I need to talk to him twice, not once. And we'll need wings to come back before, or later on when we want to grab the lottery item. When you win the lottery, it sends it to your mailbox by your room. Alright, so I'm just going to take every fight here. Normally, we only want a couple of fights, but because of just the way this is, you know, marathon stuff, I'm just going to take this a little safe. It's the sequel to Quest 64. It is not the sequel to Quest 64. It is Quest 64.
Or better.
No, that's debatable. It's an enhanced demake is the best way to describe it. So it's basically the same game, but they added more story to it. And they changed the way some of the stuff worked. So the way you get stats is slightly different. The way you get these spells is slightly different. But for the most part, it's very much the same.
Well, I remember you mentioning too, like, the experience is a little bit complicated in this game compared to the 64 version. Ah,
yes. That's correct. Thank you for reminding me. So the way experience works in this game is kind of bizarro. Brian's the main character, the guy I'm controlling. The way experience works, so we want enemies with 3 werehairs, or 3 enemy encounters is preferable always because of the way experience works. So if we take one enemy, let's say a werehair, let's say gives you 3 experience. Fair enough. 2 werehairs, you would expect that it's additive, you would get 6 experience. That's not true at all. What ends up happening is you get like 7 or 8 experience. Someone's asking what's better, this or the N64 version. The N64 version, Pasma is completely wrong no matter what she says. Don't trust her. But if we were to fight a 3rd enemy, instead of, you know, assuming werehairs are 3 experience, they wouldn't add up to 9. It actually goes to some bizarre number like 15 or 16 or 17. It's some weird scaling that's not actually additive. It doesn't make much sense. I don't remember exactly what it is offhand, but it's something goofy like that. Alright, so we got 7. That's what I wanted there.
Yeah, the easiest way I remember just to memorize when I started running this game is like 2 or more enemies is better than 1, and just go with it.
Yep. And we're going to pick up these wings. We're going to need to pick up these wings a couple times, because we have to come back to Dondarin a bajillion times. And we're going to drop over here to pick up a spirit real quick. And we're going to head...
Before entering this town, Bing needed at least 7 wind element. It's just because we have a little mini boss coming up. It just makes the next encounter easy to deal with.
Yes. So for those of you who remember Quest 64, I'm sure all 3 of you that are in chat that will remember this. There is the first boss named Solvering. We're going to fight him again.
But, I hope everyone remembers that boss. I do have traumatic memories of that as a child.
Ah, yes. He is a huge butthead. In this version, he is an absolute joke and a half because of how powerful Wind is. Any case, so we need to hit this cutscene to progress the story. So our 10-year-old self was going to be a little bit ignorant and accidentally creep on the princess, and we're going to get admonished by the guard here. So, hey look, we're creeping on the princess. Supposedly she's getting dressed, but her maid is talking about going to the matchmaker at 14, and Flora's like, nah dog, I ain't having any of that.
We also get to see the best NPC in the game. I'll point him out when we get there.
Is that Ham?
It is Ham, I know. It just, oh my goodness, it makes me laugh every time.
Yes, there's Ham. He's pink, like Ham.
Say hi to Ham.
And his son, Dolly. They're coming to woo the princess.
They're really gonna ham it up. And be sweet at the same time. Haha.
Yes. So, we're gonna go talk to the king real quick after Ham tries to introduce his son Dorley. And Flora, I think, insults him as I recall. Or no, Dorley says, she's a very energetic girl. It's kind of rude. And Solvering's like, yo, what up, guys? You forgot who I was? I've come for the hand of Flora as king of the beasts. Princess is mine. And then Dorley's like, I'll protect you, and gets slapped because he's a wimp.
And then we say bye to Ham.
Yeah, Ham gets destroyed too. Solvering also mentions that he was trying to raise a army of the undead, so apparently Solvering in this version is also a necromancer. Which
Well,
kind of...
The thing I
Sorry.
love about this game is that it actually has story to it. So you do find out, like, Solvering was once a necromancer, but then I can't remember, something happened and he came to more of a, like, wind and...
Well, he's Earth.
More to that. Earth, whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine. So there's just a basic fight on the special. Kill him, grab wind. So, something you notice, I'm always moving to the bottom left when I fight. We're trying to get agility. The only way to get agility in this game is actually in encounters. So, I want to get to a certain amount of agility. Sooner is better. World record is a 138?
That sounds right.
I think it's a 138. It's by Vice of Legends 8002. Shoutouts to him for being a god of this game.
Indeed.
Alright, so we're resting here.
But yeah, in regards to currency system, there is none. We get free stuff. I'm guessing because we're part of the monastery.
Nah, it's because we're a cute kid.
Okay, fine.
They love cute kids in this world, and they just give you free stuff all the time. It's pretty great.
So there is an advantage of going on a quest at the age of 10 then.
Exactly. Get all the free stuff. Alright, so that's the 3 wear hair counter that I would have liked earlier, but we'll take it now, it's fine. I'm probably not going to get a level. What's my experience? 82? Actually, I might want one more encounter out here.
So the key thing Bing wants to do from here on is get Wind to at least level 12 before fighting Solvering.
13, but...
Okay, fine, 13. I'm trying to remember from my mind.
You're fine. But 13 will allow us to one-shot Solvering. Solvering gets Solverect, as it were.
Yeah, and after that you laugh because you get your revenge on him.
Oh god, yeah, if anyone's played the N64 version, you know Solvering is a rude dude. And this one gets destroyed. 30-minute extra time comes from what we like to call bird RNG and also boss RNG. So we're gonna... Sorry, you go ahead.
No, it's okay. Yeah, bird RNG. You guys will find out what we mean by bird RNG. You will love this bird to death. He is fantastic. Oh my goodness.
He's something.
There's also a couple bosses too that, one in particular that can be a real poo-poo if he doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah. So someone asked, how does agility moving... So every time you move, the game gives you a little bit of experience in an encounter for how far you moved from your starting point to your end point, and diagonally is the furthest you can move in a turn, so we always want to move diagonally when we can.
Yeah, I know when I started this run, I was told like pretty early on that you want to focus on moving so you can get your agility highs so you can outturn a lot of the bosses to get with a one shot in faster.
It's not even outturning the bosses, it's more about being able to dodge attacks.
Well, that too, but...
Hey, giant
yeah.
shoes.
Ooh, and Bing got some giant shoes. Giant shoes are interesting.
I'm gonna hold them for LeVar.
You're gonna hold them for LeVar?
Yeah.
But yeah, giant shoes increase Brian's agility by actually quite a bit. It lets him move quite a bit, but you do use up a turn, so it's kind of a win, based on your debate, win-lose.
It's not actually agility, it just lets you move. It just increases your move area. Sorry. I gotta be technically correct, come on.
I know, I'm kind of new at this run still.
No, you're fine. Just giving you crap. Alright.
I'm aware.
Alright, so we're gonna have an extra level. I'm not actually... Oh, actually, you know what? I will put it into wind right now. I'm sorry. Because the next boss, we only want to have 23 wind. If I get more than that, I will actually just put it directly into earth. And I will kill this guy. He has a chance of dropping a dewdrop extra MP item, which would be beautiful, but he's a rude dude and didn't give it to me.
Yeah, getting quite a bit of dewdrops and fresh bread is beneficial later on in the run.
it's helpful all over the place. Alright, so for those of you who remember Quest 64, we're going to call back to that a lot. This is actually Mammon's World music. For some reason, they put it right before the first boss. So the music's a bit switched up, which is kind of goofy, throws you off. Here's Solvering. I was once a spirit tamer dude. Oh yeah, this is where he says that he was trying to do Army of the Dead, but now he's King of the Beasts. So here's... Yeah. Here he is. And there he isn't. I don't know if I just...
now please laugh at the enjoyment of seeing that one shot.
Yeah, and Solvering doesn't feel so good. None of the bosses feel so good. Alright, I always forget there's no cutscene after that. So I always stop moving. It'll get me till the end of time. Alright, so just picking up some extra items. Dewdrops, healing, and some more spirit gemstones. And now that we're done, we are going to go take a quick pit stop at the inn. And so the inn kind of is more of a... It's a my strat, really. You can do the run without stopping at the inn ever, and it's mildly faster because you don't, you don't go in, you don't talk, you don't have the whole do whole thing to heal and stuff. Instead, you just use 2 items. It's a bit faster, but I'd rather hold on to the items personally, so I tend to just use the inn.
But at the same time, like, it's quite risky because you are using items up, and like we mentioned, we do need to keep up abundance of items for later on at certain points in the game.
Right. Yeah,
personally, I like to stay at the inn because also not only this, once we pass this area here, we're gonna get to some more harder enemies, and they're a pain in the butt.
Yeah, that's putting it nicely. So I'm gonna kill any enemy that has a chance of dropping a dewdrop right now, and those hellhounds do. They didn't. I'm having absolute garbage luck for item drops right now. It kind of sucks, but that's okay.
Well, you get more opportunities because you see more of those little marionette guys. I think the frogs drop dewdrops as well. I think.
No, I don't know actually. Oh, great! And I got the one drop I never want, the silent flute.
Oh, the silent flute. Silent flute just mutes an enemy. It's not really useful.
The downside to that is that you can get up to 3 drops in an encounter if you kill 3 of the same enemy, and that encounter had 2 of those the bats. Each bat can drop a silent flute in the encounter, which is annoying. I'm not killing these 2 enemies. It's not worth it.
So yeah, and also the reason why Bing used the silent flute is we have a limited space, limited inventory space. Yeah. So once we fill that up, the game will kind of be like, you can't carry it, please get rid of something.
Yep, that's kind of annoying, because we do need all these healing and MP items, preferably.
And it wastes a lot of time, unfortunately.
Yes. There we go. So you can't... Selecting spells, there's actually a kind of a rhythm to selecting them really fast, which is kind of goofy. If you just try to mash it real quick, it won't work, and... Oh, there we go. So we got the agility up there, so you see my movement area is huge now. And I forgot what I was talking about.
Just about the spell casting. One thing I would mention, though, which hasn't been brought up yet, casting spells is all by the D-pad. You have to move the D-pad in a certain way to kind of cue what element you want, and then combine those 3 together to do said spell.
Yeah, and that's a difference from the 64 version. So the 64 version, I could just level up wind and have access to literal every wind spell in the game. In this version, that's not the case. So they made a nice change, I kind of like it, where spells are a combination of different elements. So, as you recall, healing in Quest 64 is 7 water. Healing in this one is 4 earth and 4 water instead. So, oh, and I got Dewdrop Drop. That's super nice.
Yay.
That's really helpful, actually. It means we can be a bit goofy with our MP. Alright. And I'm not terribly worried about encounters here. Most of them aren't really gonna do much damage unless I take too long, and I shouldn't be doing that, so we'll be fine. Right, I have 2 MP, so I'm gonna use a Dewdrop. So I always want multiples of 3, so I can cast Windcutter 3.
And actually, I think your wind's at, what, 21? I think you're supposed to grab 2 more spirits, and I think you'll be at level, obviously at 23. But I think you have 3 spirits to pick up here.
2 if you want to go fast.
Okay, fine.
The first and the last. The second one's actually a bit out of the way. And if you get lucky with encounters, it's better to skip it. It's not a big deal.
I know which one you're talking about, yeah.
I'll probably grab it anyway, just for extra safety and whatnot. But it's not a big deal.
I do enjoy the fact I'm learning something new every day now.
Alright, so we're going to have too many spirits, which that's not the case. We're going to have too many winds, so we're not actually going to put one if we get another level. We're not going to put anything more into wind past 23. We're going to put it into earth and water, because we need to get to a certain amount of those for later on. Because unfortunately there is one grind that we have to do that isn't just killing enemies, and it sucks. I apologize, it's unfortunate, but it's necessary. And this is the spirit I was talking about that's a bit out of the way. Preferably I'll have 3 MP, which would be nice. Beautiful, so I can do that. I'm gonna have 2 extra spirits, and this should make some make me have to kill less stuff later. I want to have actually we'll do this encounter. I want to have words are hard.
I was gonna say, by this point now, like being mentioned, once he gets wind to level 23, he wants to start focusing on earth and water because he wants to get heal level 1 and kind of start setting up heal level 2, spirit armor, wind bomb, just for later on in the run.
Yes. So I say I want to get to 14 earth and 13 water for by the time we get to the Zels area, which is Windward. I was trying to remember the name of the area. I always blank on it. It's Windward, because that's where we have to do our defense grind.
See, your route changes between mine. There's actually 2 places we can defense grind in this game. There's one before the water dragon, and then also where being mentioned.
There's no water dragon.
Well, what?
It's just a dragon.
Okay. Well, he's in the water, so you know.
You know what? Fine. You're right. He's a water dragon. All right. So best music in the game. This is the boat music, and I'll be quiet for this. Turn it up a little bit. Sorry for everyone's earbuds. I just turned that up really loudly. All right, back down. It's so good. We'll continue on. It's Colleen. She's the water wizard lady? I don't know. We'll meet her again later.
We got bigger fish to fry right now.
Yeah. This is Kiliak, pirate. He is a bro, but right now he's mad at us, so we gotta beat a bro up.
And by beating up, we just use that infamous little spell.
Yeah, we use Windcutter 3 and he goes, ow, that hurts. Alright, you win. So with 23, we do exactly enough damage to kill him. Well, not exactly, but a little more than exact. He has 300 HP. We do 303 damage with 23 wind. Just kind of convenient. Alright. So, we have made it. Back to boat music.
With the help of the dragon.
Oh, yeah, with the help of the dragon. So I'm just going to stop in here. This is Efna. There's a lot of NPCs, and this character always reminds me.
Which
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Bing. I'm just gonna toss out that you should really do a quick save here, just in case.
Yeah, I mean, marathon.
This is the area I really don't like. It is kind of scary. These enemies do hit hard.
It's not that scary.
Well, I find it scary. Okay.
So I was saying about Efna, is that a lot of the characters' names, I think they got mistranslated, so that you have these weird, like misspellings. I would think her name's supposed to be Edna, because that's a name I've heard before. Efna is not a name I've heard of. Either a misspelling or mistype. Kind of both one and the same there. Alright, so we do kind of would like an encounter to that I can kill, but it's not a big deal since I did get extra spirits prior to Kiliak. Alright, so this is the encounter I can kill, which is nice. Alright, so we're already having heal, goodness gracious. Not used to having these many spirits this early.
That's actually really good, though.
It's something. It's not great, but it's also not bad.
Well, I usually prefer to get healing like really early because, like I said, I don't really care for this part. And then with all the defense grinding of that, just getting healing early, it's just that nice safety net.
Right, right. I would just say it's a bit gratuitous, but that's not a big deal. More about safety than doing the fastest strats. Alright. Beautiful. So we made it into Larpool, and we get to talk to this lovely lady, Layla, because her water orb that, or mermaid orb as it were, that protects the water and lets her control stuff is broken. She asks us to go talk to Epona. Yes, Epona, not the horse. Asks us to talk to Epona and get a new one. And we'll meet Epona after we go through Blue Cave. But Epona is the one who originally sealed Mammon away. Spoiler alerts, Mammon's the big bad. She sealed Mammon away 1,000 years ago. And it's up to us to go beat him up.
Now, if you're wondering why Brian moved all the way to the cave and now we're kind of backtracking, Brian was on autopilot during that part.
Yeah, that was a cutscene. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. We're just going back now to get the spirits. If Bing wants to stop at the inn to grab an additional item, he can.
Oh, that's right. I can drop mint leaves. You know what?
Pardon?
That's right. I forgot that they give you mint leaves in here.
Yeah, they do.
You know, actually, I'll probably do that. Marathon safety and all that. I cannot accept an unaccompanied child. Here, have some mint leaves. That's what she says.
I do like the fact we're in a bar too, and it's just like.
Yeah.
I think the bartender says like we're not supposed to be here, but I can give you a bed to stay in or something like that.
He might. I actually don't really read the inn stuff. There is a in Dondarin, the lady who gives you a dewdrop, like this lady gave you mint leaves, says something about you're too young to have alcohol or something to that effect. Here are some dewdrops. Here are some juice is what she calls it, but dewdrops.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
That's kind of funny. All right, so I'm going to do something that I normally don't like doing, but marathon safety, so we don't have to reset the grind. I'm going to take a couple hits from enemies here. And grind just a tiny bit of defense while we're going through this area. Excuse me.
So that enemy combination, the 2 scorpions, and then I forget the other guy, the little caterpillar, if I'm correct. If you want to do the optional defense grind, those are the perfect enemies to use. Pardon.
It's Scorpion, and the guy is called a Crawler, as I recall. Just so you know.
Okay.
I'm not correcting you. I'm just letting you know that's what they're called.
Yeah. Basically, what you want to do is keep one Scorpion alive, and then just constantly heal while he just keeps hitting you, and that way you increase your defense. And then the key point is to make sure you kill that last Scorpion, so you can get all that increase in defense.
You don't need to win the fight to get the defense.
Well, never mind. My information's incorrect.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, this fight that I just got is the optimal fight, because the 2 scorpions stand next to you and hit you, and the 3rd scorpion tries to use an attack called Walking Water, and he can't hit you. So you recuperate 1 MP in that turn, or heal if you need to. So we'll take a couple hits.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would call this is the optimal fight for defense grinding here. Because you get hit twice, you heal twice, and if you're full HP, you then skip a turn, get 1 MP back. There is no attack. Someone's in. The only stats are agility, defense, HP, and MP, and obviously the spirits. Winning encounters gives you experience for spirits. But the way all the other grinding works, HP you get from taking physical hits or physically hitting enemies. Defense you get for taking so much damage. I want to say it's every 8 damage or something. You get like a percent. And I can't remember exactly what it is offhand. It's something like that. So we're gonna go out of here. I used to know, but I don't remember right now. Defense. Agility you only get in encounters. MP you get from how much damage you do with spells. So it's actually a little bit different than 64 version, where MP you get for how many times your spells hit. You get defense from every individual hit you take. And let's see. I said HP you get from melee hits and from just taking damage, and agility you get from moving, like overworld encounters, like everything. But the game is very generous with stats in this one, so it's not a big deal that you get kind of less, if you will, or there's less options to get defense. Alright. So we're just going to run through Blue Cave, picking up items, picking up spirits, and then we're going to go talk to Epona. We're going to talk to Epona's owl named Chappie. Your guess is as good as mine why there's an owl named Chappie. Yes, of course. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I don't have to pay attention 100% to this game. As you can see, cast a spell, look away, cast a spell, look away. Sometimes it doesn't require much attention. Alright. We'll go 2 more hits. Well, 3 more hits, really. We'll do this one. You know, we'll do this, and then we'll leave. I want 10 MP. Multiples of 2 right now. Grab this, put it into Earth. We'll stop Earth at 14, which we'll actually get, unless we kill something in here. Get from just picking up the rest of the spirits. Alright, so those guys can use a silence attack like that, or they can hit us with the same attack the Scorpion is hitting us. I'd actually prefer them to use the damage spell because it just gives us a little bit more defense even though it does damage. So our defense is 19. I think that's good, but...
I think I've only seen the mimics cast, like, mute every time I've run this game. I rarely see them cast the other spell.
I think... So this is something that I kind of have a theory on, but no one's really confirmed. I think the game is you can manipulate the enemy's attacks if you're holding a direction. So like if an enemy has multiple attacks and I'm holding like right or left or whatever, I can manipulate them into doing a particular attack. Those mimics generally will cast silence if I'm holding right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to take advantage of that manipulation on bosses, but the kind of thing with the manipulation on bosses is every time you go into the boss, the manipulation is different. Like, each run is different. So, like, if I save and reload and then go into the boss and do the same thing every single time, the manipulation is going to be the same every time there. But, not otherwise. It's kind of goofy. So I'm going to hit him. Alright, I'm going to cast Windcutter 3. And that should hopefully, yes, that kills all 3 of them. Hey, Lord, thank you, luck. Yes, leveling via fights is significantly easier in this one, just because of the way experience works. We use MP item. And I don't want to use any more MP items right now. Preferably have stuff left over once we're done with this area. So as of currently, this game is glitchless. Unless someone comes out of nowhere and says, hey look, I know about this thing. There are no known glitches with this game. So if anyone wants to play this game and break it, I will love you forever. I'm all about glitching. If anyone's familiar with the Quest 64 run, it's a mess now.
Even with like the Japanese version of this game, the only difference between both of them is that Brian can run in the Japanese version.
I mean, there's a couple other differences, but they're mostly minor.
Well, the biggest one is he can run, which
yeah, it's the only major difference. And he can only run in towns. Can't run in the overworld, can't run in dungeons, which kind of sucks. It would make the run so much faster.
But you still save a lot of time with the fact that he's running in town, like he actually knows how to run.
Yeah. Alright, so we're almost done with Blue Cave here. And see, I'm not holding right now, and they're attacking with that attack. Both times that they hit with that attack, I wasn't holding right. If I hold right, seemingly don't do that. Alright, so we're gonna get... I'm in a cutscene now, so I'm not controlling anymore. But we're gonna go, oh, dead end, what should I do? Oh no! There's the waterfall. And then Chappie... Yes. Chappie comes and checks on us. You should not be sleeping here. Let me help you. Gee, thanks. I'd rather not sleep here too. And then Chappie's like, I know who you are. You're here to see Epona. And Brian's like, alright, yep. And there, hey, look, it's Epona. Epona knows that you are the son of Bart. And and Epona, pretty sure it's she, gives you this orb to give back to Layla, or Layla, however you want to say her name. And she goes, "Great, you brought me an orb, thanks." And she does a dance.
The girl that dances.
Yes.
Just put it that way.
She spins in place and dances, and then everything's restored because magic. And then she says, "I am forever in your debt." I'm like, well, great, we're not going to take advantage of that at all.
And we're going to continue our quest.
Yes, these guys hit hard, but a little bit of defense is going to help. So defense grind, nice bonus is that some of the enemies that would hit hard here don't hit as hard. Just a bit nice. I tend to not do that defense grind in a more serious attempt, just because it saves so much time on the split. And part of the defense grind is the more damage you're taking, the faster your experience for defense goes up. So if I don't take any defense grind, the enemies that we're going to grind off of would do more damage, so the grind is a little bit faster there.
Yeah, the only downfall is like our next fight we're going to be dealing with, he can kind of be a jerk.
Yeah.
So if you want to be safe, doing that defense grind before fighting this boss will help you survive a hit or two.
Yeah.
Because he has one spell that will one-shot you.
I don't think either of his spells can kill me right now. I know without the defense grind, the one where he shoots the smoke bomb thing,
yeah,
that's the best way to describe it, that leaves you with a little bit of HP. That one does less damage than his other attack.
Well, I know in my notes, like I do the defense grind before the dragon. I think my notes say as long as your defense is 21 or higher, you're okay at the dragon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be probably about 20 or so.
Yeah, emphasize though
maybe
on
21
the
will be fine.
okay part.
Yes.
Oh.
As long as I can survive one turn on the dragon, I can manipulate him to do the fireball attack every single time. He's very consistent.
Yeah, and that fireball attack you can easily dodge too.
Super easy, it's great. Alright, so because I've had bad luck with forgetting items, I'm going to grab an extra spirit gemstone. Thankfully it's not really out of the way, it's just right up here. Super quick.
Oh man, that means I don't get to remind you about it? Ah.
Yes, I actually remembered. So 2 of the practice runs I did earlier this week, I forgot one of the 7 gemstones that you would normally get, and threw away like 7-8 minutes looking for them, trying to remember which one of the 7 that we normally would pick up, which is unfortunate. Alright, so this is an encounter to take. We're well on our way for spirit levels, or yeah.
Yeah, your next couple boss fights are gonna be relatively easy.
That's gonna be beautiful. Alright, so we stop at 14 Earth right now because we have spirit armor level 2. And that's all we need for the moment. And then once we get water to 13, that'll give us access to heal 2, which is all we'll need for water for literally the rest of the game. We won't touch water at all. And then we're just gonna, after that, max wind. And then after wind's done, up until Shilf, we're gonna put levels in Earth. Because Shilf is wind element, and so wind spell's not gonna do much damage, especially when it's all of our damage. And we're gonna use a spell called Magnet Rock, and if we get just enough Earth, we can kind of deal with her pretty easily.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have a decent amount of Earth increased by that point, because that fight can take forever and ever and ever.
Yes. So, sorry.
I was gonna say, I have experience of that fight taking forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, so you either do no damage or no damage if you don't have enough spirits outside of wind. And she has like 1,200 HP or something to that effect. And yeah, just take. Oh, I have 2 things to carry. Whoops. Let's see. I can use a fresh bread. That's fine. What did I get? A bunch of drops of? Oh, I have a bunch of fresh bread. Holy crap.
Oh wow.
Goodness gracious. All right, so at some point I must have gotten like double or triple drops, which can happen. That's crazy. That's not the worst thing in the world either.
No,
Hello.
definitely not.
Oh, yes, and something to note, they changed the order of some of the stuff you're going to do. So, I forgot to mention this when I went to Blue Cave. Blue Cave is out of order. We were not supposed to do Blue Cave then. If this was 64, we would be going to fight Zealous, we'd be in here, Call Hazard, then Zealous, whatever. And then we'd go over to Blue Cave. Well, this, they put Blue Cave first, and there's no boss at the end of it, like in 64. Solvering is still the first boss, but and then there's some other stuff. Sorry?
Yeah, that's actually good to know, because like when playing Quest 64, I didn't get far in that game at all.
I mean, does anyone ever get far in that game?
Well, you speedrun the 64 version. You get pretty far in that one.
I don't know if I count as a person if I'm playing that game. I'm just insane at that point. Alright, so we're gonna fight an enemy that should have been in the 64 version. They kind of set up for its existence with the layout of the end of the vine. There's that nice little circle, and it's like, oh, you're gonna fight a boss there, but unfortunately for everyone, Quest 64 is an unfinished game, so there's missing content that should have been there, and one of those things is probably this boss, a dragon, who we're going to actually fight in just a little bit.
Yeah, and this is the boss I was talking about, that he can be nice or he can be a real meanie.
And because I have so many extra spirits, I might actually one-shot him. I'm not sure.
I'm going to be really interested in seeing if you do one-shot him or not.
PokeGod, you're talking about Zeus, who we're going to fight in short order.
Which reminds me, are you going to save before the fight?
Yes. I just run over here, heal, then save.
I'm just doing that kind reminder of save
Alright,
off
fine.
and save
You're
to
fine.
save him.
Alright, so here's a dragon. He must test me. I will test your power. Alright, so, whoops. Alright, so that's a smoke attack. That's not a big deal. I accidentally tapped L there. Sorry. Freaked out the screen for a second. And hopefully we can see if we can just one-shot him. No. He has 300 HP, so we're off of that. So that fire attack is the one I would want to manipulate. Oh, he has... Apparently you can dodge that. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
That's new to me. I've never done that before.
Usually at this point I'm like doing 12 resets because he one-shots me, but you know.
You have Admiral Strength who have beaten me. The Grand Abbot made a good choice in selecting you. Or something like that. Alright. So, that unfortunate encounter. We are into Normoon. Blanked on the name for a second there. Picking up a bunch of stuff, and then we have to fight Leonardo. If anyone remembers him from the 64 version, he's just a friendly dude. You don't actually fight him. We fight him now. Alright, so grabbing some items, grabbing some spirits, grabbing the green wings, because we do have to come back and fight the dragon way later.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part with this town too, especially after fighting the dragon, you really can't use the inn here. I blame Leonard.
No, it's Zelsa's fault. Because the wind has stopped, because Zelsa stole the wind jade, as I believe it's called. Oh, I have too many items. Huh. Let's use a dewdrop.
I'm still gonna blame him because he's the only one in the inn right now, so he must have really cheesed off the innkeeper to prevent anyone else using the inn.
Well, the innkeeper is so distracted by the wind being gone that she just forgets to let you, stay at the inn. The best way I could describe it.
I guess. Maybe? At the same time, you could always just hop into bed. Sorry, we're thinking too much into this.
Yeah. Alright, so there's an old lady that calls us cute. Let Grandma present you with some green wings. That was a terrible old lady voice, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You did good.
I tried, and that's all that matters. So here's Leonardo. He's going to challenge us. And don't need to heal. What am I doing? I'm going to save. I saw my HP wasn't full and decided I need to heal even though it's 2 off. So, fun thing about Leonardo in this version, he does 2 attacks, and we can dodge both of them permanently. So this one, all you have to do is move up, and it'll go a couple times, then miss. And then he's just going to sit and do Water Pillar a bunch. So we're going to use Magnet, because he is a wind-based dude. He's going to do this. So in the JP version, there's an interesting side effect, because they obviously knew about the fact that he can't hit you with Water Pillar. He can actually turn and hit you with Water Pillar, which actually makes this encounter really dangerous. And he is dead. Goodbye.
Yeah, this fight's kind of just a little bit of a... I don't know, I wouldn't call it a nuisance, it's just...
It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke in this version, because you just get him to that one spot and he will always do Water Pillar and he just can't hit you. Wind sucks, go Earth. If only... So, fun fact, Earth is actually still pretty good, but we wouldn't be able to beat Mammon. Or we would, but it would take forever, and it would be miserable. Alright, so, this is the grind. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries, go right ahead.
This is the grind. We want ants. We are not getting ants.
Well, I think you need to drop more bread, because that's how you get ants.
Ha, true. If only I could drop the bread. You can do that in the JP version. You can't do it in this version. You can drop items.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh my goodness, you did a lot of damage. Holy crap. My defense might be a bit lower than I thought. So we want about 10 and change levels of experience for defense. So if I could get a ant fight, that'd be great. Ants show up throughout the whole area, but they're most common at the beginning, so we're just gonna go back and forth until we see ants.
I think the ants are hiding.
Yeah, this has been my luck lately. Usually you can get them within like 3 encounters or so. They're pretty common here. There they are. Found them. Alright, so
Ants.
the reason we want ants is not because of how much damage they do, it's because they hit us physically. And the bonus to the physical damage is that we also get HP. So we're not only grinding our defense, we're also grinding our HP, which will just make us just that little bit extra tanky, which is beautiful.
Yeah, and it'll help us survive, I think 2-3 fights?
A
Before
lot
the
of
lotto?
fights.
I'm just trying to remember before the lotto how many boss fights there are. Part of me says 4. I could be wrong.
For the lotto, there's only Zeus, and then we're gonna go do the lotto.
Well, there's Nepti.
That's after, isn't it?
No.
You know, I don't recall right now.
I'm having brain farts too. Anywho.
I think you're right, actually. Alright. So we're gonna go through... Oops. We're gonna use heal 1, unless we need to use heal 2, because they can do 20 damage, I think, right now. Maybe 19 damage. If my heal isn't gonna put me above that, like, guaranteed, then I'm gonna use heal 2 instead. But otherwise, we're gonna use heal 1 just to maximize the amount of MP. We're gonna go through our MP bar, like, 3 times.
Yeah, and this is kind of why we want a lot of dewdrops in our inventory and a lot of fresh bread as well, because we're going to be sitting here for a while just getting damage, healing, covering, rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah, this is like 4 or 5 minutes, so if anyone needs to get a drink, now's a good time.
Yeah, so go stretch your legs, quickly use the washroom, do what you need to do.
I'll still be here when you get back. If anyone wants to find a glitch that gets rid of this, I will love you forever. Honestly, there's nothing more to say about this. Just grinding forever.
Well, the giant ants, you know.
Yeah. Ants punch us, and then we go, ow, and heal. Rinse, repeat,
Yeah,
and suddenly have a bunch of HP. Alright, sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is like the weird part of the run. Like, everything goes smooth, and then you get to this part, and it just kind of stops, and just, you're here for a while. But after this, it just goes back to normal.
Thankfully, this is the only grind in the entire game.
Well, there's the other one that's optional, if you want to take that or not, which we've discussed already.
Right, but you can kind of do a minor grind while you're playing through where you take a couple... so there's a couple things I'm leveling up right now. My defense from taking damage, my HP from taking physical damage, and also my MP from healing. So the way MP works is the amount of damage you do with the spell, and I think healing, so it's the amount of healing you do with the spell as well, also counts towards that. So it's as an added bonus, we're also getting a bunch of MP from this.
Yeah, so the leveling system in this game is a little weird, but it's they tried something new and different. It kind of worked. I think you mentioned earlier, Bing, this was better. I think you mentioned earlier, Bing, that the 64 version, the experience was not well refined compared to this version.
Yes. If we had to do the same kind of grind, well, the grind would actually probably be a little fast. Well, no, it's gonna be about the same in US. But the way US works is amount of hits, and there happens to be enemies that hit you a lot, so it's not as bad.
Yeah, at the same time, like the 64 version, there's so many glitches in that game, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so if anyone has not seen the Quest 64 runs any lately, there's a lot of new glitches since 2015, which have broken the game wide open.
Yeah, well, you still have to deal with the infamous death dupe glitch.
Ah, yes. I ruined all spirits with it. Stats increase with your actions, except spirits. Spirits only increase when you get experience from encounters or pick up the overworld spirits. Yes, it's exactly like jumping everywhere in Morrowind to get agility. Or
that's a really good analogy, yeah.
That's exactly correct. Alright, so I think we're basically done the grind. This is my third thing of MP. This will either be close or almost there.
I'm trying to remember what I told myself. I think it's like usually 4 rounds or 5 rounds and then I'll call it a day.
Yeah. Pretty sure I can get away with 3. And I'm gonna use healing items. Heal. Alright, and then let's see what my stats are. 34, we're good.
Oh yeah, you're really good.
Thanks, I know.
No problem. I'm doing my best.
Alright, so we're good on defense. 35 is about what we want. A little less than 35 is okay. 32 is like kind of the bottom edge of that. And so actually I'm gonna kill these guys. That was not supposed to be Windcutter 2, that was supposed to be Windcutter 3. So I'm just gonna get a little extra experience so we're a little bit stronger. Just make stuff safer, that's all. So while there is the couple minute grind here, it's actually, it's still faster than the defense grind we would have to do in Quest 64. So look, that guy did 36 damage to me earlier, he now did 2. There is just a minor difference with the amount of damage he did, just minor.
Although I'm going to point it out, being there, you should really pick up the Spear Stone in this area, in that house.
Yes, that's the one I forgot the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
There is no heal 3. The way leveling spirits work, so for those of you familiar with 64, if I were to take Earth and take it all the way to 50, I would have access to every single Earth spell. And it's not every 5 levels, it's just kind of random wherever they decide it. In this version, you have to actually get a mix of elements to get to certain spells. So heal in 64 is 7 water. Heal in this one is 4 water and 4 earth. Also, an interesting thing to note with later spells, you don't have to have the exact combination to get a spell. So we get the 14 earth and 13 water for heal 2 because that's a nice, easy number for us. That's kind of convenient. How long is a Quest 64 low percent run? Look at the leaderboard. I think the record is now 8 hours. You're insane if you do that. Low percent run in this, I have no idea. I don't think anyone's done it.
No one has.
Haste Studio. I don't know if low percent in this would be miserable.
It could be done, but yeah, yeah, I agree. It would be kind of miserable.
Yes, that 1 hour and 22 is the Quest 64 US any percent record, which is from May. It is an hour faster than Kirk Q's glitchless run, for those of you who want to see an immaculate run, watch his glitchless run. That run is amazing. His movement is beautiful. His gameplay is really good. Everything about that run on his side is just incredibly good. He got good RNG, just all that stuff. But if you want to see a glitched out run, watch the 122 because you see everything that's super goofy with the game now.
Yep. Since we're talking about the quest games, I'm gonna bring up the third quest game, which
Not
never
a
gets
quest
talked
game.
I consider it a quest game. There's a quest game on the Game Boy as well. I forget if there's a full title to it, but it's basically Dig Dug, just reskinned in the quest format.
Yeah, it's something.
It was a cash grab, but still, it exists.
Now, and speaking of other games, let's talk about the JP name for this game. So, those of you who've been watching now, you see the name for this is Quest RPG Brian's Journey, or Quest Brian's Journey, as they called it. The JP name for this game is Elemental Tale, Jack's Great Adventure, Demon's Counterattack. If that is not an epic name, I don't know what is.
Now try saying that 10 times fast.
Alright, so this begins the, we don't want the enemy to use a certain attack first to kill us. And we got lucky, he used Wing Cutter 3. That is the attack that doesn't kill us. Because my wind is so strong, I actually use Wind Bomb. This attack that he's using right now is the attack that would kill us if he used it first. We use Spirit Armor to not die. Quest 64 is a lovely game. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong. Just saying. Alright, so that's Zels. He died. Normally, because I don't have as much wind, I wouldn't use Wind Bomb, but because of how strong my wind is right now, Wind Bomb is actually going to do more damage than Magnet Rock. And Zels doesn't feel so good. And he got snapped too. That's also true, Studio. Kirkyu is a beautiful man. We find out that the mermaid orb that was given to Layla is actually fake. So she sends us to Epona, and you're right, we do fight Nepti now.
Aha.
I had forgotten. And Epona's gonna say, yeah, actually the real one is, you know, on the Isle of Sky. You know, go get it. Borrow it from Colleen, the sorceress. That's right, she's a sorceress.
I say, this Nepti fight isn't really scary compared to, like, the N64 version. Oh, well...
It's not. The N64 version is sketchy because her hitbox is the smallest hitbox of the bosses. In this version, we don't use Avalanche, so it doesn't matter. Alright. So these would be the last gemstones because I picked up extra ones, but we're going to pick up... Check, make sure I'm not going insane. Yeah, we have 7 gemstones. So we're good in that regard. I'm actually going to skip the ones, oh, I just saved twice in, Limon Castle, and then I talked to him again. Because I want to heal 3 times, guys. It's important. It's the RNG.
Third time's a charm.
Yes. So, the other thing to talk about is the names for the Quest 64. So US got Quest 64, JP got L-Tail Monsters, pretty good. But European, PAL region got the best one, Holy Magic Century, which is the best name for the 64 version. So actually I'm not going to move for him because that attack is mildly faster than the other attack he can use, and actually I can kill him because of how strong my wind is. I always forget. Oh, he actually dropped something. He's never dropped anything before.
He's dropped that for me like once or twice, and I'm always surprised. I'm like, holy crap, honey bread.
Yeah, I've actually never seen that myself. That's pretty great.
Honey bread is just the upgraded version of fresh bread, so it just heals you for more health.
Yeah, we're not going to get to an amount of health that's going to matter for anything other than fresh bread. Fresh bread heals us for 50. We're going to have like 58 health. So it's whatever. Alright, so here's cutscene talking to Kiliak and Colleen. Kiliak's now our bro. And Colleen is annoyed with Kiliak because Kiliak, even though he's a bro, he's kind of a dick. And Colleen just says, "Shut it, stupid pirate."
Yeah, Colleen's kind of rude to Kiliak. It kind of works out.
Yeah. Not every enemy in Quest 64 uses magic. Or only uses magic. There's a lot of enemies that have physical attacks.
Yeah, some of those physical attacks can hurt.
Yes.
I know there's one particular enemy at the end of this game that hits quite hard.
Yeah, it's Spriggan, but he doesn't use a physical attack in this. He uses Ice Knife and he hits like a truck.
Also, if you saw, yes, that was a fish on a stick.
Yep, it's the fish stick.
Yay!
They are the worst. They're actually not that bad, this one. They're just annoying because they're slow.
But they're kind of cute, though, because they're bouncing on the little stick, being adorable.
There's something. My hate rolls over from 64, where you don't want to encounter them because of the agility route. I mean, hating on Quest 64 for having a barrier that basically protects you from 98% of the game is... I mean, it's fair, but you gotta remember the game is like 60% done. They rushed it to the store so they didn't have to compete with Ocarina of Time, and we all know how well that went.
Well, they were also hyping 64. I think they were calling it once again like a Zelda killer or something like that, too.
Yeah.
I remember the magazine ads for Quest 64, and they were really hyping that game up quite a bit.
That's a shame. For what little the game is, it had a lot of interesting ideas.
Yeah. But at the same time, there was a lot of games that tried to pull the Zelda killer, and, well, it's still around.
So, despite Kirkyu being a cool dude, we're gonna beat up his waifu because she's kind of mean. She stole the water jewel and she won't give it back to us without a fight. So hopefully she uses Ice Knife. Beautiful. Ice Knife is the preferable attack. It's one, much faster, also does less damage. We don't want to see this attack. As you can see, this takes 8 years.
Yeah, this one's quite a time waster. It's neat, but not what we want to see.
And she did it twice, of course. Rude.
So if you notice when Bing is casting Wind Bomb, he's kind of positioning Brian in a particular place. It's just for optimal damage.
Yeah, you get an extra hit if you stand in that spot from Wind Bomb. Again, that's the interesting thing that's been happening lately. Usually she dissolves like she got snapped, but the last 3 or 4 times I fought her, she just straight disappeared. I don't know if my cart is being dumb or something, or maybe I skipped that little bit of a cutscene. Like, it's just a weird thing that's been happening lately with Nepti. Probably nothing, but... Yes. Honestly, if you're going to play this or Quest 64, unfortunately, I would suggest this version. It's much, much safer all around, and a lot easier.
And you actually get a story with this one.
Yes, also true. The big thing to note for this versus 64, in 64 if you die you get sent back to the last inn you stayed at. If this version you die, the game is over. So the other side of that is you get to save literally everywhere in this version.
Yeah, so saving often in this game is quite crucial in a casual playthrough.
Yes, absolutely. Alright.
But in regards to this game, like, I didn't even know this game existed at all either until I started watching Bing and then realizing there was another Quest game. I think this one came out pretty late in the Game Boy the Game Boy Color cycle. 2000, yeah.
Holy Magic Centuries. Great. Hey, opponent tells you have the water jewel and you should hold on to it. And she just gives you a copy of it that she's had laying around. I was like, well, you could have just given me that to begin with, to give to Layla. No.
I personally think she does it because she does give many visitors. You know, that nice social interaction is quite pleasant for her.
I mean, she is at least 1,000 years old, so I guess she does miss having people to talk to other than her owl, Chappie.
Yeah, I imagine Chappie was supposed to be chatty. I kind of get this hunch.
I mean, Chappie was named Chappie in the N64 as well. So, I'm not sure about that one. So, to note, in this area, there's a bunch of enemies that we saw earlier that were hitting us really hard. If we encounter those enemies, they're going to do like 1 damage. It's pretty great. Quest 64, there was supposed to be actually Quest 64 2. That's what the official name was. And it got canceled because you know how well this game did. So we're gonna heal with... Sorry?
Sorry, the only thing I've heard about Quest 64 2 is that you had the option of either playing as a boy or a girl, and that's all I've heard about it.
Yes. That's all there really is. I spent a good couple days looking for data or info about it, and there's like a little blurb, and that's like it.
I think there's like one picture, and that's it.
Thank you, Winner. Hope everyone is enjoying this. And then we got boat music again. I apologize I spoke over it. It's my fault. It's
okay. The first time you hear that song, it sticks in your head. It's very catchy.
It's so good. It's a shame that there's no boat music in the 64 version. With a slightly better music processing 64, but...
I don't know, this one has some decent tracks in it. Like, come on, the boat song.
Oh no, this game has excellent tracks. But it's just the the Game Boy Color music. I don't remember how it can play music. Doesn't have as quite as powerful as the N64, if you will. What's that humming noise? I apologize. My microphone has been acting dumb lately, and I have no idea. I've tried to fix it. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. I've tried reinstalling it. It just hasn't played nice. So I apologize for that.
Alright, so we're at this favorite town. This town has a very important, particular bird.
We're gonna play the lottery.
Yay!
So, I have a question for you all. We're gonna play lottery, and then a bird is gonna come and tell us you either won or lost the lottery. My question for you all is, how many times am I going to have to save scum for the bird to tell me, fine, you won, here you go?
Now be honest with your numbers. It's very important. Be honest.
I would go anywhere from, obviously, first try. It can happen. It's not gonna happen. It can happen. To around 15 or so. Beyond that is pretty unusual. Usually you get it in around 10 tries. But marathon luck and all that, so we'll either get it first try or about 70th.
So yeah, Bing's just going to go through this town first, picking up spirits, picking up some key items that he wants, and then we're going to go check out the lottery. What the lottery is all those spirit gemstones he's been picking up, he's going to cash them in and put them all towards a particular item. And then we're going to leave the town, and then we'll get the bird to come and hopefully let us know we win or lost.
Yeah. So, the item, which I forgot to mention, is the Warrior's Cape. The Warrior's Cape is it increases your defense, which is great, because we need that. We can save scum to win the lottery, or we can, you know, grind defense like we did with Ants earlier, and that just sounds miserable, so I'd rather save scum a little bit and get the,
So Bing, what number do you think you'll get for bird?
Oh, we'll go with, I'm gonna think about that for a second.
Okay.
What's your guess while I'm thinking about that?
My guess, since you've told me that your RNG, or your luck in this game, has been miserable these past couple of days, I'm gonna say 25.
Oh, oh my goodness. That is rude and a half. Alright. 25's a good number, though. We're gonna go with 8. I think it's gonna be the 8th try.
So, we're gonna emphasize the birds are jerks. This bird takes that to the extreme.
Yeah, this bird is truly a jerk.
We would say select particular words about the bird, but we really can't.
Yeah.
They're quite foul.
Here's the lottery. Here's the dude who's gonna let us play the lottery. And we want to play the lottery, but we don't want the explanation. Beautiful. We're gonna go down and do the Warrior's Cape. Yes. Good. And we are good.
So, if I remember correct, the bird is, I want to say on a, my mind goes to he's on a timer, like as soon as he leaves this town.
It's not a timer, it's how many steps you take.
It's how many steps, okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to get the route pad for the bird, because every time, I'm so like, I need to save every particular step.
Ah, you're fine. It's every single step once you're outside of town counts towards when the bird will come to you. There's a certain amount of steps. I take a particular path that's a little different than what Vice does and what Pa does, so I get the bird before we go into this next area, whereas they get the bird after the next area. Actually,
my bird has been all over the place because I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still kind of new at this game,
right?
In regards to like running it.
I mean, the big difference is this spirit right here that I'm grabbing currently. This is the one that makes and breaks the difference, because this one's a little out of the way.
Yeah, he didn't notice the foul. It's pretty quackers. I'm sorry, Bing. I'm being punny.
You're fine. I just ignore puns generally.
Okay.
The other part is I'm focusing on not messing up, so I missed it. I totally didn't miss it, I swear. Alright. So we're
That's a good point.
Sorry?
You should maybe do a quick save just in case bird.
Yeah, no. I know when I need to save is right after we go in here.
Okay.
I know when the bird is going to show up.
I still don't. So, like I said, I am super paranoid at this part. I save usually every like 2-3 steps because I'm that paranoid.
I know exactly when I'm going to get him. So I always save in here, just in case. But he's going to show up right at that corner. So if we do this right, he's going to show up right, not on this encounter.
So just for chat's sake.
Yep, there, look at that. There he is.
Use your praying, use your RNG, let's pray, let's see what this bird gets being.
First failed. And now we reload. And we do it a bunch more.
We may be here for a while, guys.
Yeah. 2. So he'll say sorry or congratulations. I'm just looking for that first word before I reset. And I'm going to move differently, hopefully to manipulate the RNG. But, you know, 3.
Aww.
4.
Oh, this bird.
5. Alright, one day. Oh, 6. That's not bad at all.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely takes 6 tries. And so we don't do this more for marathon safety, but I'm going to save immediately after getting that, because if I happen to die to the next boss and forget to save before him, I don't want to have to go through that again. I've definitely done that before, but 6 tries is very, very not bad.
No, I'm just shaking my head. We had 7. People betted 7. No one betted 6.
I mean, I bet 8.
I betted 25. Jeez.
And I that's just mean, man.
Well, I just know the bird from experience, and just yeah. Like my PB, it was a first, like the bird gave me the winning prize like right away, so I was like, holy crap.
I think world record bird is 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think Vice got it on second try.
Oh, Pokey got it, guess 6. Congratulations.
You get nothing.
Yes. You get good RNG for 1 whole year. Congratulations.
Wait, what? Damn it.
Yeah, if only you won.
I want that prize, man.
So do I.
Ah.
Alright, so as you notice, we're putting elements into Earth now. I'm gonna have more than I normally would, which isn't a big deal. But it's going to make Shilp a little later on just faster, which is super nice. Alright, and we are running through Beargoon Tunnel, and these enemies all kind of hit... So if you do that attack, they don't hit hard, but they have other attacks that hit pretty hard. And comes up to the first boss in this area, Lavar, the first fight that we're going to have with him. We're going to fight him a couple times.
You know, I don't know the guy's name, but after this guy is that meatball guy, and he's a jerk too.
That's Fargo. He's a murderer. We're going to kill a murderer.
Fargo. Right, how far will he go? Right.
Alright, so here's Lavar 1. He's going to say, yeah, I know I messed up, I shouldn't have stole the book, all that fun stuff. And then he's going to fight us. Now fight me with this so-called power of spirit. Alright,
yeah,
and we want to use that.
Sorry. Next time Lavar should probably check out that book in the library rather than just running away with it.
So this is an attack we don't want to see. Thankfully, he only hit us a couple times with it, but he only has just like 1,000 HP or something, so we just need to hit him twice. If he uses Fireball 2, or 3 rather, great. It's much faster. Otherwise, you use this annoying dragon attack that's kind of slow and also hits really hard. And it's random how many times that dragon attack throws fireballs at you. So it can, the least I've seen is 2. The most I've seen is 6, I think. 6 or 7. That was lucky, that was a 3. That's pretty okay. I'm pretty sure if he had done a 6, he would have killed me.
But he's not too bad. We'll talk about him later, because we will see him again.
Yes. We have to
He'll be back.
Yeah, we have to refight with him, and he's going to be, he's mean. Just to put it simply. Alright. This is Fargo. We want him to use 1 of 2 attacks. We don't want meatballs. Meatballs hurt a lot. We want Flaming Screen. Flaming Screen won't kill us, meatballs will kill us, so here's hoping for Flaming Screen.
Yeah, and this guy can be a jerk. I've had a run that he basically killed the run because he kept spamming the meatballs every single time.
Okay. So with I think the Flame Screen's actually a little bit faster than meatballs, but we only need to hit him twice. And look, there's meatballs. See how slow that is?
Meatballs.
So slow. Alright, he's dead. That was actually really, really nice of him. As long as we can get spirit armor off, we won't die to him. But the issue is getting spirit armor off.
And hope he doesn't throw meatballs at you.
Yes. Those guys hit annoyingly hard. We need to... Sorry. Ooh. Need to get out of here and move on to the desert.
So from here on out, we don't really have any boss fights. Not right away. In like about 5 minutes or so, we'll have another fight. So this is just kind of going from point A all the way to said town where we need to grab items and so on and so forth.
Yep. So we're gonna head through Dindon Drives. We're gonna head through Boil Hole. That's the name of the area. And then we're gonna head through Brannock into Brannock, the town. Beargood Moor is the area, and then Brannock. Brannock is the name of the town. And when we get into Brannock, we're gonna grab some wings and we're gonna head back and pick up that cape we won just a little while ago.
Yeah, the Warrior's Cape, I think Bing may have mentioned, it increases our defense quite a bit. So we don't have to worry about taking a lot of damage, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I think we originally thought way back when that it doubled your defense, but that is not the case. I think Spyraster, shoutouts to him, took a look at the code, the way how stuff interacted, and actually increases your defense by 25, if I recall correctly.
See, there are other warrior items. I don't really know them. I think there was boots I saw. I think there was,
There's a staff, there's a boot, there's
Yeah.
a badge. Oh, no, I don't think there's boots. Maybe there is? No, I don't recall. I know there's the badge, there's the cape, and there's the staff. The staff makes your melee attack stronger. The badge actually decreases the random encounters that you get.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then there's an orchestra. It's called the item for 10. And all that does is actually lets you select the music.
Oh, so you could have boat song playing whenever.
Yeah, but we need 10 gemstones for that.
It's kind of worth it for the boat song, though.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, this lovely area.
Spoil hole. Every enemy does about 20 damage, except for they're not lag ghosts. That's what I know them as in 64. They are called.
It's just called mummies.
They're not well, they're mummies, I guess. Yeah, I just can't remember what they're called. I'm so used to calling them lag ghosts from the 64 version because in the area you get them, they lag the game. But I don't actually recall what their names actually are. It's something ghost.
That's okay. I say my knowledge of Quest is really not existing compared to yours. So like my knowledge is like Ghost, Wind Boy, that kind of thing.
I know way too much about these games. I don't
But
think
yeah,
it's a bad thing.
basically the mummy we're talking about, he hits quite hard.
Yes, he hits a good 10 to 15 damage harder than any other enemy here. Oh.
Yeah, so right now we really don't want to see him because he hits hard. Once we get the cape, he's not too much of a pain. So I think back in the day, you guys did a defense grind with the White Knights?
No, the Red Rose Knights. They do 24-ish damage.
Okay, the red one, sorry.
I think Vice still kind of does. He doesn't do as much a grind before Zealous and does some of it here instead. It kind of doesn't matter, really, too much.
Well, especially with, when we fight LeVar for a second round, that one particular move of his, it just does so much damage.
Yeah, so we're going to fight LeVar a second and a third time back to back. The third time we fight him, he has an attack that I have named Ice Chainsaw, and it is murder.
I just call it the no spell. In my no, I just emphasize and drag the O really long. Because it usually means you need to reset and try again.
Alright, so we're in Brannock, we're going to pick up some Black Wings, we're going to go back to... Oops, didn't need to talk to him twice. Go back to Melroad. We don't need to pick up any more wings, we're good here. And then we're going to pick up our cape before we go fight LeVar 2 and 3.
So if you guys are wondering where the cape is, granted Bing's gonna go there, but there's a little mailbox that we passed by much earlier in the run, and that's where it is. So he's just gonna pick it up and ta-da!
Yep, that's our room, actually. It's Brian's room.
Yep, the no spell.
Alright, so we do need to pick up the Black Wings again, because after we fight some people, we get teleported way off into back to Melroad, actually, but we wouldn't be able to pick up the wings then, because story reasons.
That does Bing, because just design of this place, it seems dark and gloomy. Is this supposed to be, like, in the quest storyline, like, the bad guys had, like,
this is where he
evil
is.
Town?
Yeah, I mean, this is where King Bogus, or Bijus is his actual name, but we call him Bogus. This is the town he started off. He's king of this area. He's not a mean guy, or he's not a nice guy. He's a rude dude. Alright, I'm going to run over here, and if we get into any encounter with an enemy, you're going to notice they do 1 damage.
So Bing's gonna do a very important save before entering this castle here, because of LeVar. If LeVar's not cooperating, we're gonna see this scene quite a bit. Just a forewarning. So here's good old LeVar, just telling us plot.
Alright, so that's the attack we didn't want to see.
Oh yeah.
Let's use fresh bread. Hopefully we get Fireball. That's the attack we want to see. Beautiful, he did Fireball twice. That's what we want, preferably.
Yeah, and then Bing's just gonna cast win level 3 just to defeat his first, I guess, combat. Now we're in part 2.
Yes. Hopefully he will use Ice Knife every single turn, but he might use that attack.
Oh my goodness, not that attack.
Ice Chainsaw.
No.
I have so many healing items that it's not a big deal. So, need that. And I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to use Giant Shoes here, because there is a chance you move faster the bigger your area is. I always forget about this. And if he uses Ice Chainsaw, we can actually dodge it. Because we move faster.
He's not going to use it at all.
He's not going to. I'm actually going to run under him because he tends to not use it. It's kind of weird. Also, that was... Yeah, he's not using it now. If you're under him, he uses Ice Chainsaw like significantly less for no particular reason.
He's too shy.
Alright, there we go. That wasn't too bad.
That was actually a really good fight.
Oh, put that in fire, doesn't matter.
So now we get this really, really long cutscene.
There's lore here. LeVar dies, he tells you what happened, how he got tricked into stealing the Elto book. Bogus and his lackey come in and say, "Stop talking. Take LeVar, the test is over." And LeVar says, "Brian, I'm sorry." And then Donaldo, who is his lackey, and Bogus decides that they want to destroy the monastery for whatever reason, and suddenly we have cannons. So they shoot cannons at the monastery, and the monastery's like, "Nah, dog, that ain't me." And it turns out that Mammon was actually buried in the monastery. So now the monastery is floating, and it's protected by a magic barrier. And technically... Sorry?
No, it's okay, go ahead.
I'll say technically, Mammon would be able to escape, but the Grand Abbot's magic is so strong that he's actually keeping Mammon in there. But also, hey, Dad's back, so if you got the FFZs, get some hi dads, bye dads ready, because we got Dad back, but, well, you'll see. Leonardo kills Donaldo because Donaldo's mean. And then Bogus goes like, "You don't even know how strong I am." And then Dad sacrifices himself for us. So, we can get some hi dad, bye dads for Dad's great sacrifice. Bart is dead. Alright, give it to me straight. And Epona basically says, "It's up to you, Brian, you gotta do it." And we get all the lore that I just kind of talked about. And Epona says, "You need to go beat up Shelf, who has a mirror that will allow you to set us there." Or, oh no, actually, Epona doesn't say that. Shannon tells us this. She says, "You can save the world. There's a mirror in possession of Shelf. Go beat up Shelf and she'll give you the mirror." Okay, Shannon, that was really convenient for you to tell me that right now. We'll find out in a little bit, but spoiler alerts, Shannon actually works for Mammon.
Surprise.
Yes. So, here we use wings and go back to Brannock. And what's my HP? Oh, I don't need to heal at all. That's great. I could go to the end if I need to.
I like to point out the one thing this game is far superior compared to the 64 version. This game has cutscenes.
Yes, unfortunately. If you took the cutscenes out of this game, it would probably be like 20 to 30 minutes faster.
Touché, but still. So yeah, Bing's gonna backtrack here, and we're gonna head to the southern part of the desert just to get to where Shelf is. So we got a little bit of backtracking. It's a long walk.
Yeah. So we have to go back to the desert and go down to Shamwood, but the fastest way to do that is actually to go all the way back here to Brannock and then walk over. So I picked up an extra black wings. And now everything's doing like no damage, if you notice. It's pretty great. Funnily enough, oh, Ghost Stalker, that's what they are. That's the enemy whose name I was blanking on. The Ghost Stalker will still do like 12-ish or 13-ish damage. They hit so hard.
Yeah, they do. Although I do have to ask a random question. Okay, the book. What is the purpose of the book?
It gives you all the spiritual power.
So it's something that Mammon wants, right?
It's used between that and the 4 gemstones that you get through the story. It's how you unlock his jail.
Okay, it's just the fact that why are they keeping the book in the monastery where Mammon is also held?
Well, we don't know that, but Epona does.
I know, but just really thinking about it, it's just a poor decision.
I mean, he's in the jail, and maybe the Grand Abbot knows. But, like, no one really knows Mammon exists except for, like, a very select handful of people.
Okay,
and,
that makes a little bit of a better plot, I guess.
I mean, he was sealed away 1,000 years ago, so I doubt anyone even remembers. At this point, he's a myth. Plus, the Grand Abbot is powerful enough to keep him sealed away while we're doing this cleanup part. So it's not like... So it's not like no one was there to deal with it if Mammon manages to get out.
Alright, so we're at the desert with the fantastic cacti.
Yes. That cacti's a fun guy.
Indeed.
As you notice, we stopped really fighting anything because we've hit the kind of the spirit line of what levels we want to have. There's no reason to kill anything anymore at this point. It's just gratuitous. We're just going to be running away.
Yeah, kind of at this point too, if you notice, Bing's going to start dumping spirits into fire. That's just to get through that faster, because fire is useless.
Fire is useless, and it's the auto-select when you level up or pick up a spirit. Once we kill Shelf, we don't need to put anything else into Earth, because we're using Wind for the rest of the run. Alright, so here's Shamwood. Excuse me. If you recall from the N64, this is an optional area. Actually required here. So I'm just gonna pick up spirits anyway. I want Shelf to die a little bit faster.
Yeah, and Bing also picked up a Dragon's Potion. That heals... Oh, I'm trying to remember. I think
999.
Is it both HP and MP?
No, that's MP. There is actually an item that's in the JP version only. Actually, it might be in this version as well, but you can only get it from the lottery. And it heals full HP and MP.
Okay, I remember... I vaguely remember the Dragon's Potion. If it did either or, I apologize.
No, Dragon's MP Potion, I'm sorry. Actually, let me heal first. And just use an MP item. Silly. Okay, we'll save, even though it's incredibly gratuitous for Shelf. She's going to get absolutely destroyed. Alright, so she has 3 attacks. If we're lucky, she won't do that one. But she did. The other attacks you can dodge, so stop, please.
Please cooperate.
That's the attack I want, but at that position you can't dodge it. Alright, so if I do that right, I can actually dodge it every single time. There you go. This will save time because you're not taking damage. The spell goes faster, it kind of doesn't lag and stuff.
Yeah, position's kind of important here too. Just...
If I hold right though, if you hold a direction, she'll like always do that stupid green attack. Oh, that's right. We got to this point. I forgot how much damage I'm doing. This is being a little faster. So the movement for this to dodge this one is a little different. Left and then right.
Yeah, so she's gonna start spamming that spell. You can dodge it. It's kind of annoying. Very nice fight, by the by.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't need to put that in Earth. Habit. Alright, so we got the mirror. She gets destroyed. Great. She doesn't feel too good either. Kinda, it's the way it goes with all the bosses. They kind of dissolve. Annoyingly enough, I can't actually use wings here. So I have to walk out. And if anyone's familiar with Binding of Isaac, here's Isaac's face, crying. And now we're going to head off to Dondrin, where we're going to give the, do I have a dewdrop? I don't, but I have so many fresh breads, holy crap. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of using the end, I'm actually going to talk to this lady who gives me a dewdrop. Use it, and then pick up another one from her. So
yeah, she will only give you one dewdrop every time, so...
Yeah. If you don't have a dewdrop, she will give you a dewdrop. And I'll pick up the yellow wings again, because we need them again. And now we're going to talk to Clay, who's masterfully named. He's a dude who works with Clay. And he's going to clean this mirror up for us. I don't need to say, but I'm going to, just because of whatever. And he's going to tell us that I can repair it, but I need a dragon scale, because... Do you need a dragon scale to clean a mirror? I don't know where you can find a dragon. I wonder what dragon we fought earlier that we can go fight now.
So we're gonna go visit our favorite dragon of all time in this game.
Yeah, the only dragon. So we're going to Norman. This dragon fight is incredibly easy. There is zero danger. All that's going to matter with this fight is if he does the fast attack or the slow attack. Hopefully we'll see the fast attack. The fast attack is when he leans over and throws fireballs at you. The slow attack is if he goes into the water, boils some water, and then shoots a laser. Or really, he does hydro pump, I guess. And it just takes 8 years compared to the fireball. So let's see what he does. Fireball? Ah, fireball. Alright, so if I stay in this spot and use Wind Cutter 3 and hold up, he should do fireball every single time. Nope, he did laser. Crap. I can't dodge this. It doesn't do much damage, but it's just slow.
Yeah, quite slow.
Alright, good fireball. Fireball. And this boss is another reason we don't have Avalanche, is because we can't hit him. Alright, cool. It's a pretty good dragon fight. You only use one laser. Preferably you get none, but whatever. And he says, he's like, he wouldn't give you the dragon scale. It's kind of rude. He's like, you have to prove to me again. It's like, I beat you earlier, come on. And then he goes, I'm proud of you. Here you go. Alright, great. Thanks. And now we don't need any more wings because we are done flying around.
Yeah, at this point we're basically at the end of the game.
Yeah, this is the tail end, the final stretch, if you will.
Yeah, from once we enter the house, we're basically going to be teleported to the enemy, or the castle that's floating in the sky, pardon, if I remember correct.
Yes, so we get teleported to Bernat Castle, which actually is flying as well, because whatever. And then we're going to go on top of the castle after we beat some guys, and go through a teleporter that's going to take us into Mammon's jail.
But speaking of guys, we are going to have a interesting boss fight pretty quick here. In the N64 version, he's pretty bad. This one, not so much.
Boat music the last time, and it's over. Alright, and everyone works together to send us to the world, to Bernat Castle. So, here we go. They send with us a 14-year-old girl because they need more young people. Flora, the princess from Dondron, and Kiliak, the the pirate. And here's Guilty. Hopefully he does a big attack. That one, yes, that's mildly faster. And also does less damage. We don't want this attack, that's the annoying attack. Alright, so since I'm not in the right position, I'm going to use Wind Cutter 3 instead. And then he's going to move over nicely. Thank you. Stand in the right position, use Wind Bomb, hit him that extra time. Next hit will kill him. And that's a dead Guilty. He's kind of a joke in this one. It's pretty great. I mean, Spaz, that's basically what this run is. More or less. Alright, so I get to fight Bogus, who is aware. He mentioned specifically that he is aware that he was being used by Mammon to free Mammon, but he doesn't care, he just wants unlimited power.
At the same time, since I can take this opportunity to be punny, his fight is kind of bogus.
Yes, it's a good way to describe it.
Without using select choice words.
Mm-hmm. As someone famous once said, it's treason then. As he is the king. And probably also the Senate. Oh, that was nice of him to do that attack. And by nice, I mean, oh my god, that did a lot of damage. I might not have enough defense. Don't kill me.
This guy can do a lot of damage.
So I guess I didn't have enough defense. It's not a big deal. It just means I need him to not use that attack.
Yeah, this fight can be a pain in the butt if he does that often.
Alright, don't do that. Thank you. Yeah, look, it did a lot less damage, but still a lot. Alright. We'll probably have to heal, that's whatever. And get into position, use Wind Bomb just to kill him a bit faster. It's 800, or he has 1,000 damage. I'm gonna heal just because I'm not sure how much damage he's gonna do the next one. Or if that'll switch him to the next attack, because he has another attack that hits a lot harder. 14. So that one is what I was talking about. That would have done 11 damage. Alright, he's dead anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yay!
Oh wow, I'm at a lot of HP. That's right, I healed. He only hit me once after that. Alright, so we're in Mammon's world. We find out that Shannon was working with Mammon.
What a twist.
Yeah. She basically... the whole story take place so that you can unlock Mammon's world. Shannon is just a puppet made by Mammon. She was just a puppet created to trick Brian, and she doesn't understand how humans are. And after a little cutscene thing you'll get is that she'll mention, "I'm not dead? What? I thought I would die when Mammon died." And she then goes, "I want to understand the world of humans more," so she goes on her own quest to understand humans. Or its quest. It's a doll? Does it have a gender? Man, I don't know.
Do they mention that in the 64 version about that?
Yes, they do.
Okay, just curious.
We usually skip through that cutscene, or that text at the end. Alright, so I'm gonna heal because Spriggans can actually hit. I don't know, I'm a little weaker than I think I normally would be, so I think I might be able to do about 30 damage. I'd rather not die. Alright, so interestingly enough, with this area, the enemies that we're fighting are almost the reverse in terms of what strength they are. So Pinhead's, the guy that just hit me there, the one encounter he can hit me, of 3. Pinheads actually aren't really scary. They're very scary, they're the strongest enemy in the 64 version. But 2 of the 3 encounters we have with them, we can dodge them every single time. So they're like not scary at all. Judgments have 0 agility, so they're not scary because we go first. Spriggans weren't scary in the 64 version. They would either silence you or punch you for like 30 damage when you have 100 plus. Spriggans actually are super scary in this version. They can do Wind Slash, it doesn't do much, or they can do Ice Knife, which hits like a frickin' truck. And Pale Riders are significantly weaker. They're not really scary anyway. They're kind of in the middle anyway. Yeah, the sequel would be Shannon's Dray. If only there was a sequel. So, oop, I didn't mean to go back in there. So we're just heading through Mammon's world. They kind of just took the 64 version, copy-pasted areas, because... yeah, I mean, it's just an unnecessary long walk in a line to a boss. There's nothing special anywhere. You literally walk in a straight line. There's 0 chests, there's 0 anything except encounters. And Epona. Oh, no, wait, that's 64. You don't see Epona in this one. Sorry.
Well, you do go in her house, I think that's her house?
But she's not... you go in her house in the 64 version, she's not actually here in this version.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe she is. I don't pay attention close enough to that house, because usually you go in and you go right out.
Yeah, I think I've gone further in the house by accident, and I didn't see any NPC when I went in there, unless she is in a certain point in said house.
She would have to be at the very end, like the next to last house.
Yeah.
But I don't think... Alright, well, if we go in another house, I'll check real quick, because, you know, I actually don't know.
Your curiosity is now curious?
It should more... I mean, Quest Game Boy Color would be a more accurate name to what it is, but I decided to call it Quest RPG Brian's Journey. If anyone's wondering, my PB is a 143 like 58 or something. So rip PB. Alright, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Epona. There's in a house.
No, I think you passed the house by now.
She wouldn't have been in those houses. She would have been in the house right before here, because that's where she is in 64. The house right before you go in Mel Road. The dark Mel Road, if you will. And so coming up is the big bad, the man himself, Mammon. Oh, here's Spriggans. Oh, he did Wind Slash, thankfully. That's much less damage. We're gonna heal one last time, have a little cutscene where Shannon says, alright, good luck, you know, have fun, whatevs. We can heal one last time. The Spirit of Stone, which, you know, I don't know where it comes from. It's this, I guess it's this stone that gives the spirits its existence. Like, I don't know, there's no, it's just there. And you can heal from it, because whatever.
Alright, so Mammon, he's another one of those lovely bosses that can be a jerk.
Yes. He has a couple different attacks. We don't want to see missiles, that'll kill us. We would preferably see laser because we can dodge it. But if he does ground explodey one, that's okay too.
Yeah, the biggest thing before getting to Mammon is making sure you save, because those moves that being mentioned, they can one-shot us, with the exception of the one that we can easily dodge.
Oh yeah, there's Ice Knife. 27 damage, that's...
It still hurts.
Yeah, a little bit. Alright, no more encounters. Alright. So I want to read his text, because his text is, like, hilariously awkward with, I would imagine, the pauses between, like, text boxes. I imagine that he pauses kind of like Christopher Walken talks, or, you know, any of those people who have strange talking mannerisms. Ha 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 ha. Brian. I've been waiting, a 1,000 years since I was imprisoned here. It was a long wait. Now release me from this bondage. At last I can fly away from this prison. I thank you for doing this. I will destroy you quickly and painlessly. I just imagine that he pauses awkwardly like that. Alright, so we want the laser attack, and we didn't get the laser attack, but this is the... Whoa, I do not have enough defense.
Oh, but you survived, though.
Yeah, if he uses laser, if he uses anything but laser, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so he used not laser. So apparently I didn't grab my defense enough earlier. Oopsies. Well, this is gonna be bad.
You're right.
I got 20 minutes. I'm going to be using all of it. Alright, there's laser. That's what I want to see. Beautiful.
Yeah. That one he can easily dodge just by going into the corner.
You could just go back. You hold right, you dodge it. So everything else is now going to do 1 damage, which is great. And we need to hit him with Wind Cutter 3 6 times. Wind Cutter actually does the most damage to Mammon. Oddly enough.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned earlier, Avalanche doesn't reach him,
yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Avalanche doesn't reach his head. Also, we don't want to see the missile attack because it is so slow. This is, I'm going to say, 3 or 4.
Yeah, and those missiles you can't dodge, unfortunately.
We're going to go for it instead of using a Spirit Armor. Spirit Armor can last like 8 turns, or it can last like 4 turns or something. Alright, I think he's dead on this one or the next one. Next one. Okay, good, we made it. Alright, Spirit Armor was nice. Boom! There we go.
Yay.
Mammon's dead.
GG.
Let me get this. Ah, why? I'm not supposed to die, but my body, it's crumbling. Why am I dying? I hated life. This is death, a peaceful sleep. And then he doesn't feel so good. Did Brian win? He did it, Brian! Yay! That's Kiliak, he's a doofus. And Shannon, why am I not dead? Was I not bound to Mammon for eternity? Goodbye, Brian. And then Melroad Monastery goes back to the ground like it should be. And we get our characters all falling from the sky. And we get a nice little cutscene and all that fun stuff.
I was gonna say, our characters also didn't land in a very safe manner, as you can tell, right face to the ground.
Yeah, Brian lands face down, but he gets up, he's like, ah, yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Spirit armor is still working, it's all good.
Yes. There is magic. The story of the magic heart. What? One of the stories in the L Tale and one of the fables of the spirit. The story of Brian, for the time being, ends here. And that's it. That is Quest RPG's Brian's Journey. Thank you all for watching. So, shout-outs to Pa for being here with me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Shout-outs to Vice for adding to the route, making some changes, making it a bit better. If you guys want to learn anything about this or Quest 64, we do have a Discord, and there is route stuff up on the speedrun.com page. So feel free to drop by and ask questions. If you do want to learn either of these games, this or Quest 64, we will be more than happy to help. And thank you for having me here at Handheld Heroes. This is an awesome marathon. And good luck to the rest of the runners, and good luck to Null Sprite with Donkey Kong 94 next.